Hello everyone, my name is Tom Fowle. Today we're going to be taking a look at Under Falling Skies, a game designed by Thomas Allier, and it is published by Czech Games Edition. A game meant for one player, but of course one player you can typically play cooperative. In this game, no different. It is dice management, and it is just a blast. Let's take you down to the board, and we'll show you a little bit more of what's going on. So the story is, we don't know what they are. We don't know where they came from. We don't know why they're attacking. All we know is that they're here and we must find a way to stop them, and time is running out. As my cat knocks stuff off the table. All right. So yeah, solo dice management game, and tough decisions. And this game was originally a print and play game, where you could print it off about nine cards. And they went ahead and made a full production game, which is awesome. So all of these are individual pieces that you slot in. They are double-sided. They're and this is only the beginning too. The box comes with a full campaign information. Set up. My cat is really distracting, but he's so cute and wants to look out the window, so I'm not gonna tell him no. But the the box comes with full campaign below, but the your starting components, the very opening, is right up here in the front, so you can go ahead and get started that way. But cat not included. So let's talk you through this. So we have aliens coming down, very Space Invaders style, and what we want to do is we want to research what in the world is going on, and that research is along this track right up here. We get this all the way, we crank it up to 11, at least that's what the last one says. We take it all the way up there, we win the game. We lose the game if this mothership advances its way down and reaches this final skull square. We lose. And then the other way is if our base takes so much damage that it takes all the way down to the skull, we also lose as well. But of course, we have to fight back, and we have to figure out how this mothership moves, how those little fighters move as well. And to do that, as I said, this was a dice management game, so we get these 5 dice that come in the variety of 2 white, 3 gray. We start the game here with 2 energy off on the side, and energy is going to be used for quite a few different actions, but the first actions we are going to have, and the other thing I should say is I am filming this sideways, but I will still try to properly refer to this as columns and rows as far as the game's concerned. Normally you would have this turned, but I have it sideways for the sake of video, but I'm still going to say columns and rows in the way that it is meant to be for the game. So we have this very top row here. Those are our anti-aircraft turrets, and they slow down the descent, because what happens is whenever you slot a die into one column, and you can only place 1 die per column. So this here would be perfectly legal. This here is not, because those 2 are within the same column. So in this top, what happens is when you slot it down, this ship up here would move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However, it has a -1 modifier. Our turret helps slows it down by 1, so it'd only move 5 spaces. So you just go the number of pips, and then in that top row, -1. So boom, right down there into the 4, onto a spot with a missile. We'll get into that in a minute. So that's our top row actions. And let's go straight to the missile one. This one here, it shows us a symbol of 1 energy and a -1 modifier. Now that's for the die itself, meaning if I place a 6 here, we now are going to treat it as a 5. Once we come to the room phase, we would take this down by 1 in any, let's populate this a little bit. Put this here, let's put that on a 6, a 4, and let's go another, for example, let's go 5. So once we take care of that room, we already took the energy down 1. Any ship that is sitting on a 5 or less is destroyed. So this 2, boom, comes right back up to the mothership. This 3, boom, it's gone. This 6, however, stays put. This 4 is gone, and the 5 is gone as well. So that would clear, that move would have been such a perfect move because you'd be able to clear a ton. Now, these ships will come back out for redeployment. Eventually, you'll get these white ships that come out. These, when you destroy them, they are gone for good. They do not respawn. So that is your missile action. The next that we have here, this green space with the 2 lightning bolts, is our research action. So let's take our 6 again here. This would cost us 2, which right now we don't have enough energy, but for sake of example, I'm gonna cheat and put us back to 2. So we'd go down 2 and we'd be able to move 6 worth up our research track. So we have 6, this costs 3, boom, we have a leftover of 3. 1 is next, perfect, we have a leftover of 2, boom, we cannot continue. Little rough. So it'd be a waste of 2. Now, say eventually, and we'll explain the excavator here in a minute, if this room here was unlocked and we put a 2 on it, giving us a result of a 1, so even though we have a leftover of 2 here and a 1 on this, they do not add up together. This is a 6 on its own, this is a 1 on its own. So even though we're here with leftover of 2 and still 1 there, that doesn't count as 3. We do not combine them together. That's one of those tricky things that took me a little bit to get into mind. The only way to combine the numbers is these double spaces. That way those 2 are combined, that would give us a total of 11, and that's our only way, besides this triple down here, of getting to our final number. Now, the other thing with these doubles, and I'll point it out on this energy too, is both slots have to be filled up for you to be able to take that room action. So right now here, if I just had this, we're not going to be getting that energy, but if we put that here, we are definitely getting that energy. And this one here is at a -3. So this is how you get your energy back. I put 11 down, -3, 10, 9, 8. We only have 7 that we can go, so there is 1 wasted. The plus sign is you can use rooms in any order. You cannot interrupt midway through. So it's like, all right, we get 8 here, so I'll take 3 now, and then we'll take the other 5 after we do something else. No, we have to take the full amount here first, resolve. But if I wanted to resolve these 2 first that eat up 3, then come back and resolve this, that's just fine as well. But the last option down here is we have the move the excavator option. At a cost of 1 energy, we can take this and move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the number of pips on the die, whatever you roll. And so once the room phase comes along, we spend the 1 energy and it will just poof, 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 perfectly like so. Once it's on a room, it is not cleared. It has to be completely past it. And say it's on a double room like this, you still do not have access to the ability in that room. Both sides have to be cleared for that to happen. And yeah, this is printed on both sides too, so you can flip it and have it going the right way. I just kind of like doing like this Batman, like the big tumbler Batmobile. The other big thing to keep in mind, and it's why the dice are different colors. So we have 3 gray and 2 white. Whenever you place a gray die down, cool, that's fine. Whenever you place a white die down, any dice not currently assigned must immediately be re-rolled. So you have a potential of 2 re-rolls. So if you get something pretty low that you don't want, especially for some research action or some energy or some ship blowing up actions, it'd be wise to put that down, but definitely use up the grays first before you put that white down, and you have to re-roll. It can put you in some rough spots where it's like, oh, I really want to use like both white dies, but no, doesn't quite work that way. So let us get to the ship phase here. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cat. All right, I just bumped him with the mothership as he's just looking out at the birds. But as these comes down, there are some spaces they can land on. If one lands on an arrow, and it has to land, it's not just when it passes over it. So say this moves down 2, we don't deal with that. But if it just moves down the 1, it lands on that arrow and immediately, which can be rough. So When you put the die down, you activate that column right away. So if you haven't activated this outside column here, and you have 2 there, when you activate it, both ships are gonna slowly start slowly or quickly start making their way down. If the ship ever reaches our city, it immediately does 1 point of damage. Once again, if it hits the skull, it is game over. The other things that it can land on are the explosions. Can move the other direction, or there is this mothership space. The mothership space is actually kind of important and not always the worst thing, because once you land on that, the mothership immediately moves. Oh, I'm sorry, I bumped the cat again. And so the mothership immediately moves, but you do not resolve the mothership effect on the side, which can be a very good thing. And let's get into the mothership spots here. So on the after you have placed your dice, done the room resolution, all the ships have moved, it is the mothership's turn, and it will move down 1 space, and you have to take care of whatever the mothership lands on. There's a little arrow here reminding you here as well, and this shows a -2 excavation. So something like that you may want to skip past, because it's like, all right, I've got this, I've got both my missiles here, but now that moves back 2. So it might be beneficial to try to get a ship to land on that mothership so you can land on it and get yourself right past it. The other ones that you may want to try to skip over if you can help it are these 2 green ones, because the green ones will take your research back. These show at a -1 value. So if you spent 6 points on that research there and you had to go back by 1, you got to spend another 6 on another turn to get past it, which is a little rough if I do say so myself. So getting ships to land on those spaces can be fairly beneficial. The last one is these crystal ships. I know the rules say white. I like calling them crystal. So when the mothership lands on that, cat's gone. They will slot in, and it's when ships redeploy, they're gonna go for whatever ship or whatever column doesn't have a ship first, and then they'll go whatever ship is the furthest down. So you'll always put the purple or reddish, pinkish ones out first, then the crystals. And so you go empty columns if all of these are slotted like so. This one here would go into here, because this is the furthest one down. But once again, if you are able to knock out one of the crystal ones on these explosion spaces, perfect. It is gone for good, but the red, purple, pink will be redeployed. So that is that's kind of the game in a nutshell. You play till either you win or you lose, and it's the second you hit 11. You don't have to resolve another mothership phase, so you put this on the room phase. So if you are down to the very wire here and you're on the room phase, you can get to that 11 and still be safe. You do not have to resolve that. And if you don't ever remember all the phases, there's dice phase, room phase, and mothership phase. So you can play on both sides of this. I just like this side. It's really nice looking. It's really cool. The components in this are great. I like the wooden dice. Everything feels great on that. You got some pucks for this, kind of like your acrylic puck for this guy too. Cubes, and even this excavator, like the already painted on excavator, is just really cute, and it's reversible, so you can have it facing either way. And as I said, all the components are reversible. So like say we had a different city, and the city will show you, or at least whatever base you're at, will show you how to set up your base. So this here has an A on top, B on the bottom, but if it was a B on top, A on the bottom, we have a completely different base and some new different rooms that I'm not going to go into explaining. But if you watch our video when we played the Tabletopia version, you'll know what those blue spaces will do. But I said this wasn't going to be a spoiler video, so we won't spoil it. But yeah, that's how you play Under Falling Skies. I absolutely love this game, and once again, if you want to see a playthrough of this, you can check that out on the channel. I'll have it in the description down below, as well as linked at the end of the video. But yeah, let's talk about stuff here real quick, because yeah, going from a print and play that was just great and fun as is over to something that you're going to be spending money for. The components are good quality. The double-sided boards, how much other stuff is in here with the campaign, and it's completely replayable. That's the part I like the most. There's legacy games when it's done, and it bothers the daylights out of me. But this one, it's nope. You can go back to the very beginning. You can try again, and it can take you down a different branch. Like you're not tearing anything up. Big fan of that. So you can get some different surprises, different challenges, and like even Roswell too. So say you fail this very first kind of tutorial mission, you flip Roswell over and try again, and now Roswell has when it takes its first point of damage, advance 1 space on the research track. It's and other cities have different things going on, but I'll leave those for you to discover. So this is a game I highly recommend you check out, especially if you like solo or cooperative games where you don't have exact individuality going on, where you're just doing stuff for your character and maybe helping out a group. This is all just one group working on a big puzzle. So it does work that way. It is still a much better solo game at the end of the day, but you can easily play this with like 2-3 players, or even like a couple more if they're looking on like, oh man, maybe you should go that route, or like you can have other people roll the die too if you want to do the turn system. So yeah, at the end of the day, I highly recommend Under Falling Skies. So once again, I've been Tom Fowl. If you'd like to see us play the campaign through this, let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you don't. Lets me know what content you want to see, what you don't, and please consider subscribing to the channel as well. We'll have more board game content, video game content, comedy content, and other content here as well. How many times can I say content? And maybe more appearances by my cat. Yeah, we'll have that too. But thank you so much for watching.